the thermostat?
Mine should
Okay,
be upstairs.
she's ready, Jen.
All right, I will call a February meeting of the Board of Education to order. Roll call.
Leo Thomas Guard,
Peter?
Carrie Hildebrandt, I am here, John Dowden,
Here.
Kathy McGrath.
Here.
All right. Next item is consider approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Next is report from student representative. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Maria Cueto and I'm a sophomore.
And I'm Cambry Fluger and I'm a freshman.
Student Council has a busy week so far. This week we started our annual crush sales for Valentine's Day, and we also started Penny War. We are doing a Penny War to raise money for Logan Miller, a fellow Student Council member at New Lisbon High School. Back in November, Logan was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks your peripheral nerves, leading to muscle weakness and the possibility of paralysis. Logan ended up being paralyzed from the neck down with a machine breathing for him. Fast forward to now, and now Logan is sitting up, breathing on his own, talking, eating, and moving around with a wheelchair. However, he is still currently at UW-Madison Children's Hospital. With the funds raised from our Penny War, as well as the proceeds from our crush sales this year, we are hoping to assist Logan and his family by offsetting the costs of travel and meals. The proceeds we raise will be presented to a member from the New Lisbon School District at the high school boys and girls basketball game on Monday, February 17th. This school year, Kitty Bortz, our school nurse, started a HOSA program. HOSA stands for Health Occupation Students of America, and it is a student-led organization that helps prepare students for future careers as healthcare professionals. Currently, there are 5 members in HOSA. The club has had visits from many great guest speakers and, in a variety of different professions, visited a local nursing home to volunteer, and attended conferences in Green Bay and Oshkosh. On January 4th, 4 of the club members had the opportunity to participate in a competitive events program in the following areas. Naomi Gruba and Felicity Klaus completed in CPR/first aid, as well as Anastasia Pate and Juliana Gutierrez competing in CPR/first aid. Naomi and Felicity are the first alternates for the upcoming state competition in April.
Last Friday, the pep band performed an Admirals hockey game in Milwaukee. They had a great time playing classics like Lowrider and Seven Nation Army, which helped contribute to an Admirals victory. The Port Edwards Band will be selling tumblers from February 27th through March 9th to raise funds for their trip to Hawaii. Lastly, be sure to check out the annual Hyde Music Big Ten competition on March 1st. Voting is open daily, and your sport could help win a great prize for our music department. Last year, we received a brand new clarinet. Moving on to athletics. The basketball teams are in the home stretch of their seasons and gearing up for a playoff run. The girls' playoff bracket will be revealed on Sunday, February 16th, and the boys will be revealed on Sunday, February 23rd. Each team has gone through some ups and downs during their season, but they continue to represent our school with class, pride, and excitement each and every game. There are numerous home games still on the schedule, so if you haven't made it to a game yet this year, swing on into the Kastner Gymnasium and take in a game or two before the season is over. Also, our co-op wrestling team just had an outstanding representation of grit last week at the conference meet where they won the conference championship. Senior Michaela McGuffey finished 3rd place in her weight bracket and earned honorable mention all conference, while freshman Kelson Casey also finished in 3rd place in his weight bracket and earned honorable mention. Finally, Student Council is hosting a blood drive next Wednesday, February 19th. It is from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the small gym at the high school. Please come and donate if you are able to. Thank you for listening. We hope you have a great night.
Thank you, girls. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's awesome what you're doing for
Yeah.
the boys from New Lisbon.
Also, the sophomore class personally is donating our 50-50 proceeds for that.
Oh, good.
That's fantastic.
Good for you.
Yeah,
That's-
that family really needs all the support they can get, I'm sure.
Yeah. Me and Valeria Hernandez, I'm vice president of the sophomore class, and we decided that we wanted to do that. It's like, I feel so bad for that kid.
Yeah.
He's our age, and his whole life is like totally turned upside down.
Yeah.
It's an
That's
executive
fantastic.
decision. Good. A
Wonderful.
lot of that going on at the moment.
Yes.
This one's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Any
girls.
other
Thank you.
questions? All right, well, thank you, girls.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you. Have a great night, guys.
Thank you, too.
Next is the president's report. All board members are in attendance tonight. Next, I will read the DPI proclamations. First one is on the National School Counseling Week. Whereas school counselors facilitate and support the academic, social, emotional, and career development and success of students in schools throughout Wisconsin. And whereas school counselors help all students explore their strengths and interests, overcome challenges and barriers, and access resources and support to reach their full potential. And whereas school counselors collaborate with students, parents, and school staff to help students identify and pursue areas of interest and set goals that further their educational, career, personal, and social growth. And whereas school counselors play an integral role in responding to and advocating for the mental health needs of students and promoting social, emotional, and mental well-being in schools. And whereas comprehensive school counseling programs are an essential part of the educational environment to enable all students to succeed inside and outside of the school setting. And school counselors seek to identify and utilize community resources that can enhance and complement these programs. Whereas this week, the state of Wisconsin joins students, parents, school and district staff in celebrating the unique and significant role that school counselors play in helping students thrive in districts across the state. Therefore, I, Jill Underly, State Superintendent of Public Instruction, declare February 3rd through the 7th, 2025 as National School Counseling Week. Oh, that is for the School Counseling Week. And now the next proclamation is Adult Crossing Guard Recognition Week. Whereas Wisconsin's adult school crossing guards provide an invaluable service in helping to ensure the safe passage of our youngest, most vulnerable pedestrians, children walking between home and school. And whereas adult school crossing guards serve with a dedication that overcomes the rigors of split shifts, heavy traffic, and they stand strong, enduring in the face of sweltering heat, bitter cold, blowing snow, and heavy rainfall. And whereas adult school crossing guards have for more than 5 decades served Wisconsin communities, make them more secure, providing a safe path to learning for children. And whereas adult school crossing guards are often the first to greet our students and the last to say goodnight. They do this all with a mission focused on helping students safely navigate city streets, county roads, and highways. And whereas adult school crossing guards help reinforce safety in the minds of young people, they highlight the importance of traffic hazard identification and safe street crossing behavior. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Jill Underly, State Superintendent of Public Instruction, declare the week of February 17th through the 21st, 2025, Adult School Crossing Guard Recognition Week, a time to recognize and thank the many adult school crossing guards whose commitment makes a difference in the lives of children in Wisconsin schools. So, those two proclamations.
Who are our 2 crossing guards?
Veronica.
Thank you, Veronica Coates.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Veronica,
Okay, yeah,
yes,
okay.
Veronica Coates, and I can picture him.
Yeah, down here in this corner.
Randall?
Yeah, Randall Van Meiksel.
Randall,
Yeah.
yes.
The reason I know it was Veronica, because Debbie's filling in this week, and
Yeah.
she says, I'm filling in for Veronica, but I
Yeah.
can't think.
Veronica.
All right,
Did I
our
do
next,
that?
Can I wait?
board
Wait
meeting
to
is
go.
March 12th,
Yes.
Wednesday, March 12th. So moving on to administrative reports, elementary principal report. Ms. Lopina.
Good evening. This past Monday, 2 days ago, we had our district-wide in-service, and following in-service, our elementary regular ed faculty are about 84% of the way complete with their Act 20 training, and they're very excited about that. This past Monday's training focused on text structure, sentence structure, and comprehension, and following March's in-service, they will have fully completed the Science of Reading training. Kindergarten enrollment for next school year is taking place this week. We currently have 26 students enrolled for next school year, which according to our elementary office is the most they've ever seen during February enrollment. So we usually pick up more later in spring and in summer, but we're at 26, which is a really high number right now. Another nice piece of data to report, 100% of the students in our 4K program have enrolled in kindergarten here for next year. So typically we do not see, maybe 75% or something like that. 100% of them, and I think it's pretty safe to say there's a strong correlation between the 4K being here in the building and them wanting to come to 5K here.
What's our 4K at now?
Our 4K number approximately 15, 17.
Yeah.
Yes, but hoping that number will increase as well. Yeah, again, yeah, we have 26 enrolled for 5K, so quite a few more. Going back a couple of weeks, on Friday, January 31st, the Opera for the Young performed the Magic Flute here in our elementary gym. Magic Flute was an excellent performance enjoyed by students, staff, and families. The performance was funded 100% by the Mead Witter Foundation, and Mead Witter was publicly thanked at the performance. So a good time was had by all. The Port Edwards Parent Organization hosted Family Bingo Night on Friday, January 19th, and the Winter Dance will be held this Friday evening, February 21st, both events here in the gymnasium. And another nice piece of news to report about 5K. Over the last 3 weeks, our kindergarten has seen an increase of 3 students. Students that primarily families lived here, they took their kids to other school districts, but have chosen to end that open enrollment, bring their children back to Port Edwards. So with the increase of 3 students in the last couple of weeks, the enrollment is up to 26. And with the number up to 26, we've decided to split kindergarten into 2 sections. So instead of a full-time teacher and a full-time aide, we now have a full-time teacher and a long-term sub. We've split the classroom into 2 sections. We did that on Monday, and yesterday was the first day. Ms. Allison Breitrick is serving as our long-term sub, and we are off to a very good start down there. And the plan for next year is to start out the school year with 2 sections. 2 sections of every grade. Okay, thank you.
Wonderful news.
Good news, yeah, good news.
And I was down in the kindergarten this morning to check it out, and it looked good. They were all doing well, and they've
We're
made it
doing well.
work.
It's cozy down there,
Yeah.
but it's not, it doesn't feel tight.
No.
It's cozy, but it's working out well.
Yep,
Yeah.
we've done that before with 3 classes
Yes.
down there, so.
Yeah.
We knew it could be done.
Sense that somewhere down the road, we're gonna have to do something other than what we're doing now?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I think with the 5th grade moving over, I was having a conversation before our meeting today. We have room for our 2 4th grades on the end, our 2 3rd grades next to it, our 2 2nd grades right here, our 2 1st grades. I had a conversation with those teachers yesterday. They're pretty comfortable. Three different learning areas in that space over there. The 2 1st grades are comfortable with our 4K in front. And then we will have 1 kindergarten down here, the daycare, and the plan for next year at this time is to move our 2nd kindergarten into this classroom right here,
Oh,
into the bubble
Okay.
area.
okay.
Ideally, it would be good to have both kindergartens down in that area, but because of secure entrances and a number of other factors, it's very convenient to have parents drop their children, their daycare children off here, walk them in on the outside of the building, and it's just much more convenient than having the daycare in the center of the building. So
That's great.
we have a plan, I think.
I mean, I'm still a little shocky from the last summer of trying to suddenly create something out of nothing,
Right.
and it appears to have worked quite well.
It's worked well.
And as long as it continues to work well, that's great. But believe me, I don't wanna spend money we don't have, but
Right.
I just wanna make sure that we have an adequate plan for whatever may be coming down the road in terms of enrollment. And if
Right.
we're looking at kindergarten classes in the 25 to 30 range, moving forward, as long as they don't get enormously bigger than that, we're fine.
Correct.
So,
Yeah. Right now, we are looking good. I don't foresee us having to do any expansion in the near future. I think we're in a good position right now. Moving the 5th grade over to the middle school was the right move.
Yeah.
not only for the children, for their age and their learning abilities, but for the space of the building. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you. Next up, middle school, high school principal report. Dan.
Good evening. First, I want to talk to you, just echo some of the stuff that the student representatives were talking about. We have a lot going on. If you can make Monday, the boys and girls play at home against New Lisbon. They're going to present the check of the money that was raised for the Penny War. So it's a neat activity to come out. It's just varsity for both teams playing Monday.
Game times? Do we know?
5 and 7?
6 and 7:30?
It's
I feel
either,
like 6 and 7:30.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah.
so yeah, feel free to come out. It's just a neat experience. And I think that we'll have a lot of people in our gym. We've been spending a lot of our time at the middle school and high school trying to revamp our schedule with the 5th graders coming over. It changes a lot of things. It changes our rotation, teaching, classrooms. So we've spent a lot of our time in the last couple weeks trying to go over that, how to make them fit into our school to become a 5-12 school versus a 6-12 school. Not only are we getting that one grade coming over, but we're also getting essentially 2. So our current 6th graders are going to be second in command in that middle school. So trying to get them to understand that as 7th graders next year, they will be leading 2 grades below them coming into the school. So we've been spending a lot of time with our guidance department with Miss Neve and also Miss Moore. So we're doing that. What I wanted to talk about too, and I asked Jen to come here too, is some of the things that we've done based off of our youth risk behavior survey. And I made copies for you guys and I gave you each a seat there. I thought it'd be easier just to make a quick couple copies first and put it up online. But you notice on the cover it says 23 results. It's not a typo. These are the 23 results. We're having issues getting the data back, and a letter was drafted and written to our state superintendent of instruction, and she also replied, and they're going to put an emphasis on trying to get these results back to us quicker. You guys know for sure. Anytime you give any kind of assessment, getting that feedback back instantly is an important thing so you can act on that feedback. So if you turn to the second page, we have our high school data back. It took 10 months to get it back. And we still do not have our middle school data back from 2023. So there has been responses. There have been letters, phone calls made. I think people are tired of talking on the phone to certain individuals who have been squeaky wheels with them, because it is important to find out what our middle school and our high school kids are feeling as far as their assessment of some of the
Not
risks.
2 years down the road.
Right. Right. So we've been real proactive with that. Without the middle school results, we've been more proactive. So we started implementing some of the things. So as you look, you can go through. The focus on the data is the school climate, the mental health and well-being, and then the trauma and the adversity that kids are facing today. We take the time out of our day, out of our year to take this assessment, and to have that data back to us is generally important to us here at our schools. So we moved ahead with it. So if you go to the next page, the school climate, some of the key stats here. Obviously, we want kids to feel connected here in our 612 building. And you see 72% of our students have a teacher that they can confide in. 67% of the females versus 76% of the males. Higher rates in 11th and 12th graders. And then 76% of our students participate in school activities, teams, and clubs. Of that, 80% are females, 73% are males. And the class of 2025 had a 93% participation rate. The next key stat in the school climate was the bullying. That's a hot button topic, obviously around schools and around our area lately, it seems to be. But you can read the stats here. 38% of the students experienced bullying in the last 12 months. 28% of the students experienced online bullying, and then 41% of them believe bullying is a school problem. So this is back in 2023 results, right? So this is a while back, right? If you go to how we replied to that and responded to it is we took that data and we started taking a look at how we can fix some of the things that our high school kids were seeing, and we're anticipating our middle school kids were seeing some of the similar data. So what we did is we have check-in and check-outs. We have our best data that we're working with, Dr. Hartwig's best program. Our staff go through and screen all 6 through 12 kids, 6th through 12th grade kids, and they go through and answer a variety of questions, and anything that is identified as an issue, we can use some recommendations from Dr. Hartwig's program on how to work with those children. So we use that. I implemented the GRIT program that we do with our kids. It is all about school climate and how you carry yourself down the hallway. So we talk a lot about that. We have monthly drawings at our middle school level. We're doing drawings at the midterm and end of the tries for our high school, where we get in front of the kids, we get all the kids together. Mrs. Klinsky and I pull the grit coupons, which resemble the old gotcha program in Nakusa, and we pull those out and we read what these kids were identified for, like, helping a student out, helping a teacher out, picking up a piece of garbage off the floor, those things to increase the school climate and just getting people together this year. I think the feeling of togetherness in the building has drastically improved. The building engagement, the phone homes is another thing with school climate, taking away those kids' cell phones, our middle school kids for the day, has really helped the climate in the school. It's helped on our bathroom breaks and the number of our bathroom breaks, because the kids don't have their phones on them and they don't want to go in and message and snap. Our high school kids, same thing, taking them out of their pocket. If you were to sit in a classroom, you could hear that box that those phones are in, they buzz. The middle schools are on carts right now in the side office. We have to close that door because we can't do anything during the day because those phones buzz all day long. Now you imagine putting that in a teenager's pocket, and the chances of getting them to participate and pay attention in class are slim, right? So that's another part of the school climate that we responded to with our high school results, but yet waiting on our middle school ones. And then, Ms. Moore, do you want to talk about the ROCKS program?
Sure. So this year I went down to the WISCA conference, so the Wisconsin School Counselor Association, and one of the breakout sections was called ROCKS, and basically ROCKS is a program for girls. One thing we've noticed, and actually as you continue to look through the data, you're going to notice that higher numbers of anxiety, depression, lower numbers of connectedness in our female population. And I'll be honest, even if we didn't have the data, we know that because this has been a different year for our girls. We talked about that as a staff. We've noticed some things. And so, of course, we want to be proactive. And I don't mean to say we have a bad group of girls at all. That's not what I mean. But we've just noticed that there are some things going on there where we feel like we need to respond. So there was a breakout group. There was 2 schools at the time doing the ROCKS program in Wisconsin. They got asked to present, and the room was packed. It was a mini session, and the room was absolutely packed with people. So this is something we're all seeing, and then we all kind of start talking about it. But long story short, it's a 20-session program for 5th through 12th grade girls. School counselors, social workers, and educators can get certified in it. But I did the certification for the program. It's nationally researched. 17,000 girls and counting is they do a pre-survey and a post-survey when the girls are going through the program. So they have a lot of great data, and the data is phenomenal. They're seeing an absolute turnaround in, again, rates of that anxiety, depression, school connectedness, girls feeling like they can use assertive communication and just feeling empowered. So that really, spoke to me. I came back and I talked to Mr. Steltenholm and said, can we do this? And he agreed, and I think because he's seen it in office too and saying, yeah, we need this, and looking at this data. So I got trained, and then we decided to focus on our 8th grade girls this year to do a trial run. And so all the 8th grade girls were invited, and 13 of our 14 girls signed on. we started yesterday, when we pitched it to the girls. They were wildly excited, and I actually had teachers that emailed me today and said, what on earth is rocks and why are these kids so excited to come? You know, and I don't wanna, you know, put the cart before the horse and say it's gonna be amazing, but I'm really hopeful, and so are they. They're so excited to come, and one of the teachers said, these girls don't get excited about anything in Black Hawk period, so like, what are you doing? So that was really nice to hear, and we're one session in. You know, and as all groups do, you know, you go through the process of making them feel comfortable, and as we go through the topics, they do get a little bit more, they ask for more vulnerability for the girls, so I know that there'll be ebbs and flows in this, but our goal is to just really empower the girls. So that's a little bit on rocks. If you ever want to hear more, happy to talk about it. I've had the Kool-Aid and I'm all in.
What do the letters stand for?
Yeah.
Ruling our experiences.
Ruling our experience.
Yes. So if you look it up on the website, they've got all sorts of videos and information, data, which I love too. Honestly, I wouldn't have jumped on board with it if they didn't have that. So we're really hopeful this is something, a pilot year we're doing, and then hopefully 2 times a year. From here on out is our goal if it goes well, but we do of course want that feedback from the girls at the end, and probably we'll be talking to some families at the end too. I will say too, our families were very excited that we're offering this. The mothers specifically, I think both of us talked to a variety of them, all said, we know our girls need this, we want you to offer this, and so we're just really excited and hoping it goes as planned.
So
And it's
Jen,
done-
go ahead.
Is it done in the Blackhawk period, you're saying?
Black
That one
Hawk
is
period,
explained.
yep, and right now we're doing it twice a week in Black Hawk period. I'm on a little bit of a timeline this year and we have 20 sessions to fit in. So, and just based on when the training was offered, that's kind of where we're at this year. So, you know, next year we'll be able to spread it out a little bit more and do 1 Black Hawk a week. But again, the parents and girls know that they're gonna be missing that time on Black Hawk and they're really on board with it, so. yeah.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Sounds
Yeah,
fantastic.
and the one family that chose not to was somebody that's involved, and just doesn't wanna lose that Black Hawk time. It had nothing to do with the program or anything,
Yeah.
it just, they
Needed
need
that
that
time.
time, so, yeah, it's been a great thing, so, it comes all the way down to even like self-defense moves and things like that for our girls. She went through the training and I told her to do it at home because I didn't wanna hear the kung fu coming from her office, so.
Get out
It's
the
been a
wrestling
great thing,
man.
so as you can see, we're doing things for our students, and that's, again, one of the things that makes Port Edwards great. Even without those results from our middle school, we're able to help our kids out.
And this is it, in a small school, you know, you might not have been able to start that until next year after, but we can do things sooner. Like the kindergarten, I mean, how lucky are we that we had enough money in the budget that we could do it, and then we just did it.
We're nimble.
We're nimble, yeah.
Yeah.
Jack be nimble.
Yes.
And one of the things Jen did not share too is the camaraderie that we're looking to build. You get 14, 13 girls in a room together, the trust that you can build with those kids, telling personal stories, being vulnerable with your classmates is, we're hoping to carry them through high school. And next year, look at doing this year's 7th grade group and really getting them ready. So some other factors that went in, the second thing that they looked at for the assessment was the mental health and well-being. So there's some problems with anxiety, self-harm, suicide, things like that. And again, remember 2023, so we're really hoping those numbers come around a little bit here. Again, the response to the mental health and well-being. Care Solace is a program that we joined NACUSA with that Jim had mentioned earlier a few months ago. It is a program that we haven't had to use yet, at least at our building, but essentially families come to you, and if there's something they need help with, whether it's counseling, doctors, insurance, the Care Solace program essentially, we hand them off, we give them to these people, and they, based off of their insurance and their needs, they put them in touch with people in our local community that can help them. So Care Solace is a big part. Jen mentioned the ROCs and then the QPR.
So QPR stands for question, persuade, refer. And actually it's in board policy, so you probably know this, but we need to offer a suicide prevention and awareness program. We do that in our health class, which is primarily freshmen, and so I go into that class. I actually was just in there today finishing up day 2. It stands for question, persuade, refer. Our goal is to teach kids what are some of the statements that kids who might be dealing with some pretty severe depression and maybe, experiencing suicidal ideation. So what are some of the statements they make? What are some of the behaviors we're seeing? What are some of the situational things that may be happening so kids kind of know what to watch for? We're not trying to create counselors, but then the goal is to teach kids, like, when that happens, when you see red flags, how do you talk to someone? So that's the question part. How do you persuade them to get help, and then who do you refer them to? So it's kind of a day and a half training in a class, and the kids leave there at least, they do a role play, so they practice it, but they leave with an idea of, okay, if I'm ever faced with this situation, I do know how to respond.
So it's giving our students, the tools to, when they're faced with tough challenges, and we know it's a tough world, right? So when they're are given those challenges, they have the tools to pull through, right? The third and final part was trauma and adversity that the behavior assessment looked at. So there's some talk, some percentages in there about sexual violence, dating violence, physical attacks in the neighborhood, lack of food at home, so that goes into that. And then the final page of it is just the 4 things that, and there are a multitude of other things, but our family center collaboration, taking a look at the family center, giving us more resources to help people out. Our curriculum all over the place, whether it's our FACE teacher, whether it's our health teachers. So we're really looking at the trauma and adversity there. And I did mention the Care Solace and ROCS program. So again, we're hoping that we get our results back sooner. Jen does a great job with our guidance department at taking a look at this and really breaking down the data for our teachers. So yeah, that's it.
That's all great.
Does the district have any interface with Focus in terms of food insecurity?
Yes, we do food backpacks every week here at the elementary. We, myself or other staff drive over and pick up those backpacks and send them home to kids.
Okay.
Yes.
On Fridays.
It's,
Yes.
besides the 43% who are in transit between residences of the trauma and adversity statistics, 30, 21, and 36%, if that, the percentage obviously would vary, but if the greatest adversity they face is food insecurity, that's probably the one that's easiest to try to address.
Yes.
Obviously, the physical and sexual assault are extraordinarily concerning, especially in a small community where everybody's supposed to know everybody, and you find yourself in situations that nobody should find themselves in, but especially now with people that you have to come in contact with on a regular basis. That's very upsetting.
Unbelievably upsetting and troubling. I'm so thankful that our high school staff, middle school staff, and our staff here are looking at the whole child, looking at the safety, the wellness, the emotional security, the physical security. I don't think larger schools, again, I'm going to toot our horn for our district, but we do a very, very thorough, in-depth, comprehensive support of the whole child here. So hats off to our middle school, high school.
5:30 and 7 are the game times.
5:30.
5:37.
The fact that those kindergarten parents brought their kids back
Yes.
is just a microcosm of you'll always think the grass is greener somewhere else, and then you go look at it and discover that it's actually dandelions.
That's right.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is the district administrator report.
Okay, good evening once again. The 25-26 district budget timeline has been set. That's for next school year, of course. The budget request sheets will be sent to our faculty members and department heads the week of February 24th. They will be due back to building principals by March 21st. That's the day before spring break. And department budget request forms will be due to the business office by April 17th. Those dates are corresponding to last year. So it's trying to look ahead to 25-26 from a fiscal point of view. This Friday, Mrs. Miller and I will be meeting with representatives from USI Insurance to preview and look at insurance rates for next school year as well. The second Friday of January, student count was stable here in the school district. I did mention we've got 3 new kindergarten students. I believe we may have a couple new ones at the high school, middle school as well since mid-January. So the number I'm about to give you is 5 or 6 short. Last January of 2024, district enrollment was 425. This past January, we were at 421. So the numbers indicated a slight decrease, but again, I think we've had about a half dozen students return since that time, so we're about 427. So quite stable with some big numbers coming up at our 4K and our kindergarten, which is good to see. Tonight we are going to be reviewing retirement requests by 3 employees. I would like to publicly thank these employees. Deb Martin, senior high math teacher, Ernestine Neve, guidance administrative support, and Frank Neve, he is our director of building and grounds. Combined, Deb, Ernie, and Frank have over 50 years of experience here in the district. They've been incredible professionals, been incredibly dedicated, and they have incredible work ethic. So we would like to thank them tonight, and we will be congratulating them as we near the end of the year. Finally, a staffing note, the transition of 5th grade to the middle school for next school year has created 2 open middle school teaching positions. They are going to be filled by Cole Walters and Jen Hofferman. Cole is currently a 3rd grade teacher here in the elementary, and Ms. Hofferman is a 4 or 5 teacher. They will be moving over to the other building, and that has created a pair of openings. We have the opening in 3rd grade. The 4-5 position is going away because we actually had 3 teachers for 2 grades, and we have a second 5K position that's open as well. And we have a former student teacher who is doing the long-term sub who may be applying for that position. Thank you.
I'm assuming there's gonna be another hiring event at WSP as we get closer to
Yes,
spring,
yes. Haven't heard about it yet,
and I
but
assume we will be
we will have a table there.
participating.
Yep, we will be represented. Absolutely.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Questions and comments from people in attendance? Anyone wish to speak? I don't believe anyone.
I checked out.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
all right.
camera set her views.
Okay.
All
We're just
right.
here providing transportation for you. You're doing it.
It's kind of a long way to walk in these,
Well, it's also, if you're here, you can be parentally annoying at your convenience too. It's very helpful.
that as well.
Yes.
And I figure since I'm here, I might as well stick around.
That's right.
That's,
Very well.
you're not doing your job as a parent if you're not annoying her at least 50% of the time. See? That got an eye roll.
I
That's
know it
good.
with a look.
Yes.
It doesn't stop when they're adults.
All right, moving to the consent agenda. Number 6, consider approval of minutes of the past meeting of January 8th.
Move.
Second?
The motion and a second discussion. All right, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Number 7, consider approval of financial reports.
Move.
Is there one gift?
Yes, I have a gift from Sarah Anderson, who is Emily Anderson, our band director's mother. She donated $800 to help cover part of the field trip to play at the Admirals Hockey Stadium on this past Friday.
Whoa.
Very nice.
So that was quite a generous donation from her.
Yes.
All right, with the gift, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed? Motion carried.
Oh, you should.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. That was- Roll call, that should have been.
Leo.
Aye.
Carrie, aye. Dana,
Aye.
John,
Aye,
Kathy.
Aye.
good job, Carrie. Going Alright, no unfinished business, new business. To set the annual reimbursement rates for per diem meals and mileage.
This is an annual request of the board. A motion to approve as presented is requested.
Move.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Number 9, consider approval of academic and career plan and education for employment plan.
These were part of our board packet, and these are created by our guidance department and are asked to be approved by our board on an annual basis. Is there anything you wanted to add, Ms. Moore?
We did a little bit of updating because some of our middle school offerings in the rotation changed, and then just updating about our course description, both which you guys would have already approved back in November,
Yes,
December.
I think so. Remember.
Move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Number 10, consider a request for post-employment benefits for Deb Martin, Frank Neve, and Ernestine Neve.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Yeah, they have, like he said, a number of years of experience.
Big shoes to
Yeah,
fill.
We'll
Yeah.
miss them.
I believe all Pittsfield grads.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
That's right.
Good catch.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, with that, there's been a motion and a second, so all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Number 11, consider approval of 2025-26 CISA 5 service contract.
A motion to approve as presented. CISA 5 continues to give us outstanding service, fulfilling technology needs and filling all of those gaps in our IEPs. So CISA 5 helps to keep us legally compliant in a number of ways.
Move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion?
Is the project in this building to upgrade the phones and the intercommunication devices, something that CISA has been helping to draw specs for, or?
They're working with CISA 10. Yeah, that's going to be summer of 26. But CISA 10 is kind of leading. They'll be leading the bidding process, but CISA 5 is working in conjunction with CISA 10 since they know our technology.
I may not have the terminology correct, but is there still the concern about the internet interconnectability issue between the two buildings that was brought up several years ago, that the cable was
connection.
Cable was somehow no longer state of the art?
That has not come on my radar in the last 3 years.
That
That was a number of years
That
ago.
was some time ago.
I would guess that's
I
been
think that's all
addressed.
been addressed.
I would
yes.
guess
Has that all been
Addressed.
fixed? Okay,
I'm quite
good,
sure.
just
I would
asking.
guess.
I'm
Yeah.
quite sure that was,
Yeah.
All right, with that, there's a motion and a second, so all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Next item is consider approval of the cooperative agreement 6603 for the Coosa School District.
Is that a new student to that?
It's an updated 6603,
Okay.
I believe it is.
because-
Move.
Second?
A motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it, motion is approved. First reading of Neola policy updates.
We do not need a motion to approve, but just the first reading. Were there any questions on the summaries?
Just that, I appreciate the way that we approved the first
Yes.
reading.
Yes,
Much more so than what we did.
thank you.
Certainly.
Thank you.
I wanna go
Not
back
that
to
it
the,
wasn't-
I wanna go back to the.
John wants to go back.
I do
He
miss
likes
out.
Because he had to
staying till
read the,
9.
Yeah.
I kinda
Yeah.
missed the snacks though.
We could do the snacks.
Long.
wanna go back to the way, you can do it after. the
Okay.
meeting.
Yes.
You can stay
Absolutely.
with Mr. Bean.
My only commentary on this item is Neola they are staying very nimble considering our current political climate in the
Yeah.
last month or so. With executive order updates and things like that, I'm getting many more updates from them. So the investment in Neola is priceless
Yeah.
at this time.
I had a very interesting conversation at the convention with their rep.
Yeah.
Who looked a little bit rode hard and put away
Frazzled,
wet.
frazzled, yes.
He was the only one in the booth at the time I stopped, and he was a little frayed around the edges. He was kind of,
Yeah,
oh, what district are you from? He's kind of like, so they're doing,
they're doing great work.
they're in a really tough spot given what's going on elsewhere.
Yes.
All right. Next item, opportunity for individual board member comment. Kathy?
I would just like to thank the Port Edwards Education Foundation. They granted about $30,000 worth of grants this year. And how fortunate we are as a school district and how fortunate our teaching staff is to have this opportunity where we couldn't afford to do all these special things that they want to do. We are very, very fortunate. And I want to thank the PEEF board members and all the people that contribute, which is a lot of people.
I just want to echo what Kathy has said. We had our monthly PEEF meeting this morning, and those are all volunteer members on that PEEF board. Most of them are retired. Some of them put in dozens of hours each month, just staying on top of finances and making sure that PEEF continues to go strong in all of its initiatives and things like that. So thank you very much to the PEEF board. They do a great job.
And then because I was in the library here this morning, they have so many new books in the library. And Mrs. Hamilton was showing me all the books and I'm like, those are just awesome. I mean, that our kids are able to get a whole smattering of new books at this time of the year. So we're very lucky to have her in the library too.
She's great.
That's it.
Thank you. Dana?
Nothing.
Great.
Good to see the students here again, giving us their updates, so that's good to see, and a couple of younger students, so that's gotta be exciting and scared a little bit, so that's good. The more you can do that, the easier it becomes.
That's right.
Dad got to watch.
So, it's always great to have your guys' updates. And then just thank you again to Deb, Frank, and Ernie on their years of service. Thought Deb was gonna go 1 or 2 more years, but I did it. I would do the same if I could. So, thank you to those folks.
Ditto on the previous remarks. For those watching online or who will view the recording of this at some subsequent point, we're coming up to the spring election cycle. The primary is the 18th. State superintendent primary statewide, plus some local races in different districts, including a village president race here in Port Edwards. Then in preparation for the general election in April, the Rapids Area League of Women Voters is hosting a candidate forum for school board members on Thursday, March 20th in the multipurpose room at McMillan Library. The candidates for the Wisconsin Rapids Board meet from 6 until 6:55, and the candidates for the Port Edwards Board meet from 7 to 7:55. This is not the traditional debate, question, answer thing. It's literally a meet and greet. The candidates are invited. There is no set agenda. They mingle with the public, the taxpayers and the citizens who care to come. They can ask whatever questions they want. It's very informal. And it provides an opportunity for the public to get a handle on people who are seeking public office in that run up to the April election. So I would encourage Anybody in the Port Edwards or Rapids school districts who have questions about their school board candidates to take advantage of this opportunity to actually, like Lyndon Johnson used to say, press the flesh and shake hands and talk to people and see what's up. So
It's a Thursday night.
Thursday night, Ports is 7 to 7:55. Multi-purpose room at McMillan Library.
Yeah, I would just like to give a shout out to Jen for, I'm excited for that Rocks program. It sounds very exciting and another way to improve the culture in our schools, which has been improving with all that Shane has been implementing too. And so I'm just happy to see that for our young girls. So with that, establish future board meetings. March 12th and then April, what's April?
It'll be the 9th.
April 9th. All right, April 9th.
Then it'll
sounds
still
good.
be light at this point.
Okay. If there's nothing else, call for adjournment.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
For adjournment.
Questions you have?
I have a.
Yeah.
So.
Two-stage.
Very focused.
Yeah, it's a completely different world out there, like here in the country.
It
I mean,
is.
I guess we are.
Literally.
Yes, a stone's throw away,
There's
but
two in many houses in that area, the furthest one end of the building.
we got a,
And the person
I don't know,